Welcome to the Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly podcast, your no-nonsense guide to the markets. Whether you're watching us live at sktrading.live or listening on your favorite podcast platform, we've got you covered. Subscribe, join the community, and get ready to dive into real talk and real market insights. Let's get started.
Hi everyone, I'm Stephen Kalayjian and welcome to the Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly. Well, today it started ugly. Nvidia was the catalyst of today. 10:30, we got the big sell reversals on Nvidia and on many stocks across the board off the 60-minute time frame. Nvidia at one point pushed down below the 101 level, and then we got this big rally towards the end of the day. But we really were in a sell mode environment pretty much all day. We had a little bit of a buy divergence around 10 o'clock in the morning. It pushed the indexes up. We got to push up after the 30-minute time frames reversed. And I'll show you all these patterns. At 11:30, it was a short of the lifetime for the day. I'm telling you, it was a monster short. You could have just thrown a dart. S&P futures trade up to the 5,400 level. And I'm telling you, from there, they dropped all the way down because after we got the pullback of about 30, 40 points on the S&P, $3 to $4 on the spiders, on the Qs, everything set up at that 11:30 pattern. It was unbelievable. I'm going to show you Nvidia. I'm going to show you the 30 and 60-minute time frames. I'm going to show you when the Qs reversed to sell at 10 o'clock on the 30-minute. The Qs really were the leader today on the selling because the 60-minute reversed to sell at around 2:30, and then the 30-minute spiders reversed to sell at 2 o'clock, and the 60 reversed to sell at 3:30. So basically, we had sells all day, and then we were making new lows here around 3:30, and obviously a monster short covering rally from 52.51 all the way up to the 53.15 rally. 49 and 15. Well, you do the math, 64 handles on the S&P. NASDAQ ran about 300 off the lows. Again, why? Because there's a big press conference coming out at 4:30, so there was a big tone here for short covering. But at 1:30, when Chairman Powell came out and said he thinks the risk to inflation is high, the market got absolutely kabooshed in one bar, and I'll show you at 1:30, the pencil down at exactly 1:30, and the market just drifted lower. Beautiful pattern set up around about 225, 230. S&P futures were trading the 53.17 level, and it never looked back until we hit that new low of 52.51. So let me get right to it right now because there's a lot to cover here. All right, let's look at Nvidia here. Coming into the day, Nvidia on the 30-minute reverse to sell already. You can see Nvidia right here on the gap down from today on the 16th at 10 o'clock. Look at this negative MACD here. Look at the 60-minute time frame reversing to sell right here at exactly 10:30 right here. So now at 10:30, all three time frames are in major sell mode. And if you look here on the 5-minute time frame, this is the first bounce right here on Nvidia, right after the opening. Look at this short at 9:45. Look at the mouth of the MACD negative, blue over yellow, like the size of the Atlantic Ocean. The push up right into it. And then here again, this is the first bounce on the 5-minute. After all three time frames aligned, the 15, the 30, and the 60. The 60, here's another bounce right here. This is the bounce right now on the 15-minute time frame. I'll show you. This is where the whole world was a short. If you can see this bounce right here at 11:30. This is the bounce right into the 10-bar moving average above 105. Look what it did. Dropped roughly about $1.70. Here's another push up. This is the push down here below the 101 level. And then at the end of the day, there was some bullish news about Avago. Avago ran from about 167.5 all the way up to 174, a monster move in Avago, and you can see how Nvidia rallied all the way up about $4. So Nvidia, AMD, Avago all rallied. AMD rallied about 2. Avago ran the most because it had something to do with the the semiconductors and that Chinese company. I don't know. Somebody said it was very bullish for Avago, but in the end, you can see here now the 15-minute time frame is going to reverse the buy tomorrow in Nvidia, and we'll just see. Probably the lows should hold here tomorrow, but we'll see. Again, we have a press conference coming out at 4:30 in 7 minutes here. We're going to see exactly what happens when the president is going to speak at the press conference. This is the move here. I want to show you the move here at 12:30. This is the bounce we talked about right here, and I'll show you the pattern. The spiders, look at the push up here at exactly 11:30. You can see the overbought condition into the negative MACD, and if I bring up the 30-minute time frame, you can see here the 30-minute, the MACDs were still negative. So basically, the spiders were still bullish on the 30 and the 60-minute time frame. But if you look here, the 15-minute time frame got overbought into the negative MACD right here, and the negative MACD on the 30. There was no way anywhere but down after that. Better pattern to show you is the Qs. You can see the Qs. This is the first bounce on the 15-minute time frame after the 30-minute reverse to sell, because this is a sell disconnect. You have the 15-minute and the 30-minute time frame reversing to sell on indicator 4, and you short the first bounce. Well, first bounce on the 5, the second bounce on the 15-minute time frame. Monster short here, again, getting overbought into the negative MACD. Look at the ADX rising, overbought into the negative MACD on the 30-minute, a monster short. You could have just thrown a dart. You could have, I'll show the same chart in Apple, in Microsoft, in Meta. It doesn't make a difference. Everything aligned at 11:30. MSTR, it doesn't make a difference. Nvidia, what else? Amazon, AMD, the spiders, the Qs, the diamonds, the Russell, everything aligned. When those S&P futures were trading 5,400, I could not believe the overbought condition on the 15-minute time frame into these negative MACDs, especially when the Qs reversed to sell on the 30, aligned with the 15. You have what's called a sell disconnect. Remember the 3 time frames: 15 is negative, 30 is negative, 60 is bullish. So you have a sell disconnect, and you have an overbought condition into the negative MACDs, a monster short. And then I'll show you this other pattern here. You can see here on the 5-minute time frame, this is the push down after Chairman Powell talked right here. The S&P futures dropped, I think, from the 53.60 or 58. They dropped in 1 bar. I'll show you the 1 bar I'm talking about here. This is the pattern right here. 53.65. You can see the drop of 30. They pushed up to 42, and they got absolutely kabooshed. Look at that. Unbelievable. And then this is the first bounce right here. You can see that the S&P futures reversed to sell on the 15-minute time frame, correlating with the 15-minute spiders, 15-minute spiders, and the also on the correlated with the 15-minute spiders. So now the 2 time frames are aligned. But again, what happened here was a major shift in the trend. If you look at the negative MACDs here on the 15-minute time frame, you can see the sell correlation, and then look at the first bounce on the 5-minute time frame. We were shorting this pattern here, and this is an absolute Picasso. This is an absolute Picasso. You can see the ADXs are rising here, and I'll actually one better. I'll bring it up to the spiders because maybe you'll see a little bit better. But when you see the push up here, you can see that the MACDs are negative, the ADXs are rising, big selling pressure. This is the first bounce on the 5-minute time frame after the Qs reversed to sell, and you can see here at 2:30, you can see the significant drop. If you look at the SDSs, you can see here the inverse. The ADXs are rising at both the 15 and the 5, and here's the pullback here. Not that you're going to look to buy the SDSs, but this confirmed it, the oversold condition into the positive MACD on the 15 and on the 5. The 80 oversold into the rising ADX, on the 15 and the 5. This was an absolute Picasso. And then at the end of the day, we got this monster rally. But here's the problem. Tomorrow, right? Look at the 60-minute time frame on the Qs. Reverse to sell right here. Okay, you can see the Qs are negative now on the 60-minute. The algorithm reversed to sell at 230, and you saw this big push up here. This is again the short covering rally. The Qs were trading below 438, and you can see this more than $6 rally. Nasdaq futures rallied 300 on that. Okay, so 300 points on the Nasdaq, all because of the 4:30 press conference. They're all hoping that the president's going to say something to calm the markets down. Powell sure did not. He did not say anything that was really going to pretty much calm the markets down. Gold today was up 113. Great pattern on gold. We had a lot of good short patterns on gold, but also a couple of great long ones. If you look at gold on the GLDs here earlier, if you look at the 15-minute time frame right here, all the ADXs are rising on the 60, on the 30. Look at this beautiful pattern right here. This is an absolute Picasso. All right. Remember I showed you yesterday Netflix when you got the oversold condition into the positive MACD? I mean, this is just unbelievable. Somebody said, do you think we should short gold? I said, no, look at the 15-minute time frame getting oversold. So on this pattern here, 304.52, you can see gold rallied about $30 from that pattern. So the oversold condition on the 15 into the positive MACD, again, the size of the Atlantic Ocean, I make a joke, oversold into the positive MACD. Look at the big buying pressure here, a plus 52.69, a negative 6.73. We had a net of about positive 43.44 on the buying pressure. And if you look here on the low, 304.52, it closed at 304.95, so about 40 cents higher. The oscillator was definitely into the upper, well, maybe high 20s, low 30s, but good enough. And then look at the push up. And then, and you made new highs on that. And then if you look at the other pullback here on the 15, you can see 306.42. It really didn't move much, of maybe about $1.30. So what you're seeing here, okay, what you're seeing here is how these patterns are reacting, right? We saw a sharp rally here. Now, again, gold is over 200 points away from the 10-bar moving average on the daily. And this is getting, to me, a little bit long in the tooth. Look at this, 19 points away. So I think this stock here, DUST, D-U-S-T, okay, I think this stock, I said today below 26. I think DUST right here, because it's a miners, got down to 25, is a buy between the 24 and 26, where I would look to buy this here, okay? And you can see this pattern. I'm just looking for a trade. If you look at gold, gold kept on making higher lows on every pullback on the daily. This is the last pullback here below 29.90, and you can see the rally of over 350 points. Here's the other long here, all right, about the 30.40. This is the one that I was looking here. I was saying a move down to the 2800, 2840. The low here on the gold was 2873. So again, it pushed up, but really never looked back. And then you can just see this significant uptrend here. And if you look at the weekly on gold, you can see that apparently we're 375 points from the 10 bar. I think gold's going to pull in here and then set up another great long once the weeklies set up here. All right, so this is what I'm looking for in gold. But really a lot of great patterns here today. Again, looking at Microsoft, the 30 and the 60-minute time frames all reversed to sell. Right here, you can see, look at these negative. When you see negative MACDs like this, and you see the rising ADXs and the yellow dots into the blue, every bounce was a short in Microsoft off the 5-minute time frame, especially when the ADXs are rising on the 60 and also on the 30-minute time frames. Look at this. Look at this. And then if you want to see the 15-minute time frame when it got overbought, here it is. This is the pattern. Everything's set up at 11:30. Overbought into the negative MACDs, the rising ADXs on the 15 and the 30-minute time frame. Microsoft was trading above 380, and it just never looked back. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Almost $12 from that point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bars. Even that's $4. But Microsoft, even with the S&Ps rallying, roughly right now, about 60 plus handles at the end of the day, Microsoft really only rallied maybe about $2, $2.50 at the end of the day, because Microsoft was down 30, closed down 13. Closed down, about 14. It's up about 80 cents after hours right now. So a wild day. Nvidia started it off. Gold was up strong. Nvidia started the day, and then it was a lot of great patterns. The short pattern at 11:30 on the 15-minute time frame, getting the push up after the Qs reversed to sell on the 30-minute time frame, correlating with the 15 on the sell disconnect. The push up for the short, then the drop, and then Powell spoke, caught the nice bounce at 2:30, and then I was scalping longs from about 250 all the way to right to the end, and then all of a sudden right into the 10-bar moving average, and then boom, at 345, they just took them. They just grabbed them. I mean, look at this pattern. I mean, look at the amount of contracts that traded on the S&P on the 5-minute time frame right here. Look at this amount of contracts. Look at this. You're talking almost 39,000 contracts on one bar. 22,000 up, 17,000 down. S&Ps went from 52.77. They rallied. Look at that. 30 points exactly. 30 points on the S&P. Right? Beautiful. I mean, right up. I mean, that's a short covering. That's something that, that people are saying, I'm not going to go short into this press conference. All right. And they just completely ignored what Chairman Powell said. All right. Okay. When I get back, I will tell you what I expect for tomorrow. Again, today from 1:30 onward, it was pretty crazy, I have to tell you. So stay tuned, and I'll tell you what I expect for tomorrow. Tomorrow, there's no 8:30 number, but here's the problem. The 60-minute time frames all reverse to sell. So, for example, the spiders right now close at 525.73. All right. And after hours are up about another, I don't know, where are they? They're up about another 7 handles on the S&P. So, but the buy reversals come in at 537. So that's 11 points. That means the S&Ps have to trade tomorrow 54.20 to get a buy reversal. But the MACDs are negative. So any rally tomorrow on the 30-minute time frames, if they get overbought into the negative MACDs on the 30 and 60s, I say the market's in a lot of trouble here. I would be looking for shorts. There's no 8:30 number, no 10 o'clock number, okay? But who knows what's going to come out at 4:30 today? We saw the S&Ps rally one time, about 400 handles, and one, right, when President Trump put a freeze on the tariffs. So anything's possible here. However, if you're looking at, and I'll show it to you here, you can see the spiders on the 60-minute time frame right here. You can see the 60-minute time frame right here. The negative MACDs, look at 537.01. Now, we closed at 564.64 after hours. So we closed up about 80 cents higher here. But here's the thing, right? You see these negative MACDs? Tomorrow, I'm looking for a push up on the 15 and the 30-minute time frame to work off the oversold condition into the negative MACDs. These 60-minute time frames, to me, this is going to be the tell of the tale here tomorrow, okay? This is where I'm thinking that the market's been in a lot of trouble, not just in Microsoft, but also Avago, Tesla, SMCI. You have Nvidia. You have Palantir, Meta, Apple. Apple's reversed to sell. I mean, where's the market going to go if Apple can't participate in this rally as well? Apple needs to take above the 202. That means Apple has to be up more than $8 tomorrow just to flip the algorithm. But where are they going to go with the MACD's negative like this. So I'm more inclined to look at, and if you look at the SQQQs today, they reversed to buy. So this is just telling you the market, I think, on any rally tomorrow off the any overbought condition on the 15 and or 30-minute time frame. I'm probably thinking the 30. Okay, I'm thinking you have to let them have them. That's what I think. That's what I think the setup for tomorrow is. Okay, I don't think anything is going to come out of the press conference today. I could be wrong. It's 4:30 now. I don't see anything moving here. But again, we'll see. Let's see. Nvidia is actually down now 80 cents after hours. Avago is down 30 after hours. Palantir down unchanged, really. Everything's really not moving here right now. But again, the 60-minute time frames, since they reverse the sell, are the tail where I would be looking to any rally on the 15 and or 30-minute time frames. I would be looking for shorts. Okay. When I come back, I want to tell you a story about a gentleman I met via the phone, and I want to tell you why it's important to follow what I'm going to tell you next. Okay. Okay, so about a month or so ago, maybe a little longer, I came across someone, very, very nice person, and it really wants to, and he inspired, he wants to trade, he wants to learn. But for me, you have to, anybody who's new doing this, I say, you have to learn from me, please. I did a webinar today. You have to learn. This is not like just learning overnight. This takes time, patience, the amount of time. And apparently this person had no patience. And so he didn't have enough money to trade. So he ended up going and learning on his own and trying to buy these prop firm accounts where you pass an evaluation. And if you do well, then you get funded. Okay. And basically, if you pass, and you pass the evaluation, there's like 4 or 5 different plans. If you pass the evaluation, then you're able to do what? You're able to then get up to 90% of the profits as you grow. Well, the story is really quick, is that this gentleman didn't know what he was doing. And I'm not going to mention names or anything, obviously. But again, he bought over 61 prop plans. He failed all 61, right? And this is what rips my heart out, that somebody would take the money, the hard-earned money, whatever they are, $35, $45, $80, whatever the plans are, but 61 of them, and just kept on blowing them up. Because once you hit your drawdown, you stop and you have to reapply and get another one. So it really I just want to share this with you. This is very intense. It's not that hard if you put your mind to it and learn it. Okay. But again, what's important is to take the time. One of my 5 keywords, patience, to be able to take the time to be able to learn the right way. And that to me is really the moral of the story here. Okay. Please, your hard-earned money, when you're right. Somebody came to me last night, said, I just joined with you. I'm trading futures, and I trade my own money, and and then another person came to me and said, I'm trading a prop account. I said, I would learn from me first before you apply my methodology to your prop account. Okay. So again, I just wanted to share that with you. So please, patience is, as they say, the key here. Patience is a virtue. So, and it's one of my 5 keywords. Learn from me, and then we can start moving forward in the right direction. Okay. With that being said, I want to say thank you for joining me tonight on the Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly. Again, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please leave a comment. And also, my website is sktrading.live. Please, join my community. I talked to so many people. I got to meet so many people from all around the world today, and it's a great, great, great feeling. It empowers me to want to just meet new people each and every day, and to be able to really, really empower you to become great traders. And that's what I can't wait to do every single day. Also, follow me on X at official Stephen Kalayjian, and on Instagram and TikTok. Please, please, please The scams are out there. My face is everywhere. Please, I do not DM. Please be careful. Again, the blue check mark on Instagram, TikTok, and X is me officially. I do not DM anybody. But I do tell you my cell phone number is 914-500-7484. So you can please text me, and I will try to respond back to you in a timely manner. All right. With that being said, thank you again. Have a great night. And thank you for being here on The Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly. Have a great night. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America. Be well.
Thanks for tuning in to The Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly podcast, your no-nonsense guide to the markets. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe at sktrading.live or on your favorite podcast platform. We'd love for you to rate, review, and join our community for more real talk and market insights. Until next time, keep trading and stay sharp.